Now, you might have heard about the crazy allegations that the rapper YNW Melly is currently up against. A lot of people have been talking about this, and there's a lot to discuss here, so I wanted to give my opinion on this entire situation. And yeah, as always, let's not waste any time and let's get into it. So first of all, before we get into the story that I'm going to talk about, I know not everyone might be familiar with YNW Melly, so a quick little introduction to him. He's a Florida rapper who's been on the rise for some time now, and apart from coming up and making a lot of noise in his city, just overall his popularity has been growing extremely fast. Apart from a couple tracks that have gotten a lot of attention on the internet like Blue BlackySpeakz or Slang That Iron, the song that really put him on the map is titled Murder on My Mind, that originally came out in 2017, but the music video got released in August 2018, and you might actually recognize the song.
Wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, Mac 11s, Glocks and 9s.
The music video is currently sitting at over 88 million views, and apart from that track, Mixed Personalities featuring Kanye West has also been doing extremely well. Now that you know a little bit about Melly, let's talk about the news that came out yesterday that currently has a lot of people shook. He got arrested yesterday by Florida police, and they put up two tweets, one of them that said, Jamel Demons aka YNW Melly and Cortland Henry have been arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. The victims, Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr., were killed on October 26, 2018, and the investigation supported by forensic evidence has concluded that, and here's the next tweet, Demons shot and killed Williams and Thomas Jr., and that Demons and Henry staged a crime scene to resemble a drive-by shooting. And then with the second tweet, they attached this picture right here. So on the right, we have YNW Juvie, and to the left, we have YNW Sack Chaser. These two guys were Melly's day one friends, and unfortunately, in October 2018, they passed away from a drive-by shooting. At least that's what the initial report said, because as you can see from the tweets that I showed you, the cops are pretty much claiming that YNW Melly murdered both of his best friends and staged the crime scene so it would look like they died from a drive-by shooting. And yeah, as you could hear, that sounds insane. The craziest part about this entire situation is the fact that, just like I mentioned earlier, these were his day one friends, not just some random people. And if you've seen that Melly documentary, which I recommend everyone go watch, from the outside at least, the friendship he had with his best friends doesn't seem like it's any kind of facade for his image as a rapper or anything like that. And I'm mentioning that because people are now asking the question, how could this even be possible? This evidence that the police are talking about, is there a possibility that YNW Melly is definitely innocent and the cops are the ones who got this entire thing mixed up? The truth is, his relationship with the law hasn't been a very good one, and he's been in and out of jail multiple times. In an interview with The Fader, he told the story of a shootout he was involved in near his high school that led to him being charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of discharging a firearm in public. Now, that situation then led to him serving an entire year in jail, and that's where Murder on My Mind comes up in the conversation, so let's keep talking.
Yellow tape around his body, it's a fucking homicide.
First of all, let me make this one thing clear. This song came out in 2017, so the I accidentally killed my best friend story you're hearing in the track has nothing to do with this situation directly. Let's just get that out of the way. But I want you to understand this. The murder of Melly's best friends has yet to be solved, and what if this is one of those situations where the cops are purposely looking for anyone and anything to put the blame on for the unfortunate death of his friends? I'm not much of a believe in every little conspiracy theory kind of person, but this is just one possibility considering the circumstances we have right in front of us. I mean, think about it. It just so happens that YNW Melly made up this fictional story 2 years prior to this about killing his own best friend by accident. And yes, regarding the whole fictional story thing that I talked about on Murder on My Mind, just realize that there's not a single report of an event like this going down. And obviously I'm talking about the supposed real event of Melly killing his best friend by accident on Murder on My Mind. That's one of the biggest reasons as to why Murder on My Mind became such a huge hit. It was this very interesting perspective from a person who had supposedly committed the worst crime possible, which is accidentally murdering your own best friend. And I personally couldn't find a single piece of evidence that points towards the fact that this even went down in the first place. So if anyone could show me some real evidence, just know that I'm open for it. But let's not forget that rapper self-snitching seems to be a very common trend nowadays. Please don't forget what happened to Bobby Shmurda and his guys, and then look at Lil Nar, who thought that it was a good idea to flex with a damn rocket launcher on Instagram, and that led to the cops investigating his ass. So I'm mentioning this because maybe the cops thought that Melly was so stupid he would plan killing both of his best friends ahead by making an entire song about it, and maybe that's why he is locked up right now. And keep in mind, even though Murder on My Mind is based on fiction and the people know that it is based on fiction, the cops simply don't care about that. What they personally care about is solving a case on a real event that supposedly might actually be true. So yeah, this entire situation is kind of crazy considering Murder on My Mind actually exists, and it looks very bad on Melly's side, even though him being in jail right now has nothing to do with that song necessarily. But the fact that the cops are claiming that Melly killed both of his best friends and tried to manipulate the entire situation, that's essentially the craziest thing about this. Let's just not forget that he would have not been locked up if the cops weren't convinced that he did it. I mean, they even said it themselves. There's evidence that points towards the fact that he supposedly killed them and staged the entire crime scene so it would look like a drive-by shooting, and so far, according to the police, that's what he did. But until he's convicted of this crime, I'm just gonna go ahead and say innocent until proven guilty. If he really did it, then he deserves to get locked up for life. But if he did not do it and there is some kind of misunderstanding here, then of course he doesn't. So yeah, after hearing a little bit about YNW Melly's story and hearing what the cops are accusing him of doing, do you think that he did it? Do you think that he's capable of murdering both of his best friends and staging the entire crime scene? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.